Hey YouTube, it's East Coast Prospecting with a little bit of a change here tonight. We're going to do a United States currency preview. I'll just show you a few notes I have, read a little bit about some of them that you might have some interest in. I've got quite a few here, so I won't go through all of them, but I'll go through a couple of them here as I open up my boxes. Got some different U.S. currency notes, Federal Reserve notes, a lot of different things, honestly. But one of the most common things you'll see people talk about day in and day out is the silver certificates. You'll also see people talk about star notes a lot, red seals, blue seals, yellow seals, gold seals. There's a lot of different variations there, and I'll try and pull a few out for you. So let me open my one box that I keep most of my typical regular silver certificates out and let you take a look at a few of those. Now here is a pretty common, and this is a book here, United States Currency. I'd highly recommend, if you're not much into currency, this is a good book to be able to have and look at all the different types of notes. So first and foremost, here is a star note, but it's in a silver certificate. So as you can see, it's got a crease in it. It's probably the run-of-the-mill. It's not an UNC. It's not a BU. When you get up to something a little bit nicer, you can get some of the uncirculated versions, and it gets a little bit higher as an uncirculated star note, and that is a silver certificate. So I'm showing you both things right off the bat, an uncirculated star note. I've got some common ones also. I also have a Facebook group that covers currency quite a bit. Haven't done much here on YouTube, but just give you an idea here. Here's the one that's about uncirculated. I've got some stickers on these things with approximate values. There's a 1935 silver certificate. Just so you know, bills are not like coins. When you see a 1935 silver certificate, that's actually the year they start making those. It might run for 10, 15, 20 years or longer. So that's a series. So that doesn't mean necessarily that's the year and date that silver certificate was printed in. So that's a pretty common misconception for people that aren't much into bills or notes. That lets you know that, hey, that's not necessarily the case. And here's another one here. That one right there was, I believe, in 1935. And you'll see the similarities there. Here's an uncirculated silver certificate, but it's a 1957 series. And then you got an A, they'll do B, C's, D's. So just give you a little brief. I don't get into great detail, but I strongly recommend you get that book I just showed you. You can read up a lot more on currency and how those things work and happen out there. So, I've got quite a few silver certificates there. That's how I kind of started collecting. You can get silver certificates in circulated value for, $1.50, $1.25, real good condition, 2, 3, on up. This one's uncirculated, and I was able to acquire it for $3. So it's not a star note. It's nothing really rare or UNC or something that really looks good. The star notes, obviously, is when they have to have a run where they've maybe had a misprint or a malfunction. They have to finish off a series, and they'll star note those remaining reprints. So it just gives you an idea what a star note is. And that's a real generalization. So that's pretty much, something good about the thing. You're also in your regular dollar bills you'll see out now today. You'll see the star here on the end. Those are typical star notes. Some people collect those. They're very minimal value. A lot of people look for silver certificates or star notes of bills in sequence. So if you look at the serial number, it might be 87, 88, 89, 90 on up. That's something a lot of people will collect too, and again, in uncirculated condition, to give you a general idea. But there's a lot to notes. There's everything from birthday notes as a serial number that might be your birthday to repeaters, trinaries, binaries, quads, you name it. So there's a lot to collecting with notes there, to say the least. And got a lot of different bills here. Now this is something that I like particularly, and this is a red seal. So this is a $2 red seal. It's the older $2 bills. I know you probably have all seen the very common $2 bill that is still available out there today. I think occasionally I get some of those, but you've got a $2 bill there. That one is a 1963, I believe. I'd have to look there. I didn't put my glasses on there. Series there. There's earlier series than that. There's also the $5 red seal. This one's got a little bit of writing on it, which brings the value down. I've got some uncirculated ones and some circulated ones, but the red seals are a little bit older. They're also, if you notice, they're United States note, which is different than the Federal Reserve notes, or where it'll say silver certificate on them and stuff too. So there's a lot of different variations. And if you look at going back a little bit older or further, you can also look at a series like this, like a 1928D, and you notice the difference in that when you're looking at the red seals. So there's different variations, different years that they started making a series. They'll continue on with the serial number with A, B, C, so that's an earlier one with an A, and give you a general term there. There's also, I know in some of the other groups, you'll see notes that were made during World War II. I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But you've also still got your $5 silver certificates, just like your $1, your $2, your $5. And you used to be able to obviously trade that into the bank. It was when we are under the gold standard, it was worth that much in silver or gold. You could actually go back to the bank and get that from the bank. So that gives you a general idea. But some of the nicer bills in my collection, haven't really thrown all of them out here, but I'll give you a general idea. I know that what prompted this, I believe it was Ravenhawk Coins, was showing his $10 emergency note. And basically, I'm going to let you see here. Here's one of mine. These are graded. A little more rare, the emergency notes, as Ravenhawk talked about. And I'll read you a little excerpt about these out of the book itself, so I won't be misquoted or misinformed. So this is a World War II issued series of the Yellow Seal certificate, a silver certificate. So the Yellow Seal silver certificates, these were issued in North Africa during operations in 1942. Later they were issued briefly at the beginning of the Sicilian campaign. So quite often they'll call these North Africa Italy notes. All that bear the Julian Morgenthau signature combination. Though the treasury seals were printed in yellow, the serial numbers retained their usual blue color. So the reason why they did this, they also did the brown seals for Hawaii. If that area of, say, North Africa got occupied, or Italy in the European campaign, and these certificates were out there in the yellow seal, they could demonetize these and make them worthless if they're in the hands of the enemy. So that was an easy way to say, if somebody was captured, if currency was grabbed a hold of or anything, they could demonetize it very, very quickly. So that's a pretty neat. This is obviously just like you can have slabbed and graded coins, a graded and slabbed or sealed in a heavy plastic mill thing for grading. So that was my $1 bill. I also have both series. I have, like what Ravenhawk had, the 10. I have a 10, but in a little nicer condition. If you look at this, this is a 45, choice extremely fine. And the EPQ stands for exceptional paper quality. So this is an extremely sharp and nice note, to say the least. And this has got some nice value if you want to look it up in the book. And here's the reverse to give you an idea and just see what it looks like. So again, exceptional paper quality. That's the EPC side. This is a 45. It's a grading there. So there I have the 1. I have the 10. And you kind of probably are wondering, why did he go out of order if he's got a 5? Well, the reason why I've got a 5 is it's even nicer. The $5 bill I ponied up a little bit for. And if you want to see the 5, it's right here. So the 5 is a about new, pretty much pristine. That's just some light there reflecting on the paper there. That's not on the bill or anything to say that that's a reflection. You can see the reflection there in my hands there a little bit. But see if I can get some of that glare down. But this is an unbelievably beautiful note. So this is a $5 emergency note, North Africa emergency note, silver certificate. PCGS graded this. I have the PMG also, paper money guarantee. So there's 2 different grading companies that are typically used, but that's an about new $5 bill, and that's one of the highest conditions I've ever seen one in. I've not seen any other one. This is the only one I've seen in this kind of condition. So it gives you a general idea, but it's a beautiful note. So that shows you something pretty neat. And then I'll give you the coup de grace. I'll give you another really nice note. And we get to the larger bills. I don't want to make this too long so people want to be able to watch it. I'm already into 10 minutes into this. But I do have a saddleback note here. This is in a hard case show. And this is a much older certificate. It's much larger. It's in a hard shell case. It's AU condition, and it's absolutely beautiful. So you see these things were truly works of art when you look at the older notes and stuff. So that gives you a $1 silver certificate. I do have the funny back $1 bills in here also. Got a lot of different things in different series I could show you, but not keeping this too long. We'll save something, maybe do another video later on, a little more with a reveal on some of this. But let me show you the back of this also, so you can see how beautiful this piece is. So when you look at this, can you imagine having a bill that big? And if you look at in comparison, let's throw a regular note out there. Let's throw a star note out there. You can see the difference in the size. I mean, much bigger note. Gives you a general idea of what we're talking about. I mean, the bill is much larger. There would be from right there at the beginning to give you an idea. But anyways, the East Coast prospecting with a little bit of a currency reveal. You might get yourself a little bit addicted. I know a lot of silver stackers and numismatists are in these community here and watch the videos, but I do a little bit of everything. I am kind of a variety channel, from everything from coins to currency to some stacking, and of course you guys know ECP stands for East Coast Prospecting. And as the weather starts to warm up, we're going to start having some videos where we're mining for gold, and we're going to get some of that yellow stuff right out of the ground. And I want you to think about something. When you go and mine for gold, and let's say you get $50 worth of gold or $100 worth of gold, just think that is new money or new monetary value into the system that was never there before, because gold has that value. And you think about that, that's new wealth into our economy and into our system that was never there before, that was actually taken from nature right directly out of the ground. So wrap your head around that one a little bit, and we'll say East Coast Prospecting tells everybody have a great evening. Over and out. Take care.